Olumoko, the beloved Nigerian comic actor whose laughter once lit up screens across Africa, shared a story that was anything but funny. It was a tale of sacrifice, struggle, and survival, a journey that left scars on his heart and soul. His voice trembled as he recounted the bitter experience of marrying for U.S. citizenship, a decision that cost him years of his life and tested his spirit in ways he never imagined. Olumoko, now in his late 50s, sat down on a recent episode of a popular podcast in the United States, his eyes glistening with unshed tears as he began to speak. "I left everything behind, my family, my home, my career, to chase a dream," he said, his voice cracking. But that dream turned into a nightmare. In 2015, Olumoko made the life-altering decision to leave Nigeria and pursue U.S. citizenship. Like many before him, he believed that marrying an American citizen would be his golden ticket to a better life. He met a woman, and within just 7 months of knowing her, they tied the knot. But what followed was not the fairy tale he had hoped for. Instead, it was a grueling, soul-crushing ordeal that tested his resilience and faith. "The first 2 years of our marriage were a bitter experience," Olumoko confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. "I thought I was coming to America to build a new life, but instead, I found myself trapped in a cycle of hardship and heartbreak. The financial struggles were relentless." Olumoko worked menial jobs, often for long hours and little pay, to support not only himself but also his family back in Nigeria. Every dollar he earned was stretched thin, and the weight of his responsibilities bore down on him like a crushing burden. "I was working so hard, but it felt like I was drowning," he said. "I was sending money home, trying to keep my family afloat, but I was barely surviving myself." What made it even harder was the lack of guidance and mentorship. Olumoko had no one to turn to for advice on the complicated and often unforgiving process of obtaining citizenship. "My case was unfortunate," he admitted. "I had no one to guide me, no one to tell me what to expect. I was alone, navigating a system that felt designed to break me." The emotional toll of his marriage was even more devastating. Olumoko's voice broke as he described the loneliness and isolation he felt. "It wasn't a real marriage," he said. "It was a transaction, and I was just a pawn in the game. I felt used, discarded, and utterly alone." But through it all, Olumoko held on to hope. He clung to the belief that one day, his sacrifices would pay off. That day finally came when he received his green card, but even that moment was bittersweet. "I cried when I got my green card," he said, tears streaming down his face. "I cried because I had fought so hard for it. I cried because I had lost so much along the way. And I cried because I knew that, despite everything, I had finally earned my crown." Today, Olumoko's life is better. He has his children from Nigeria with him in the U.S., and he is focused on building a brighter future for them. He holds no grudges against his ex-wife, choosing instead to focus on forgiveness and moving forward. "I don't blame her," he said. "We were both caught in a system that forces people to make impossible choices. I've made peace with my past, and now I'm looking to the future." As he concluded his story, Olumoko's voice was filled with a quiet strength. "The process of immigration doesn't come easy," he said. "Some people are fortunate, they get it so easily. But not all of us. For some of us, it's a fight. A fight for survival, for dignity, for a chance at a better life. And at the end of the day, all glory be to God." His words hung in the air, heavy with emotion, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Olumoko's story is a reminder that behind every smile, there may be tears, and behind every success, there may be untold struggles. It is a story of pain, perseverance, and ultimately, hope, a story that will leave anyone who listens with a lump in their throat and a tear in their eye.